Oh, there you go. Ooh. Oh, thank you. Hello, this is Prince De Guzman and welcome back to my channel. Today is the pilot episode of my new series. But if you are new to this channel and if you love horror, makeup transformations, pranks, pop culture, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you won't miss my next videos. Most of you guys know that I am a horror movie junkie, but what really keeps me up at night is reading murder mysteries, paranormal mysteries, unsolved mysteries. That's what I love to do during my pastime. It comforts me, but it disturbs me at the same time. So every Thursday, we are going to relax and read some disturbing stories. Welcome to True Crime and Wine. Before we proceed, I just want to put a disclaimer on this video. Today's topic will include graphic scenes, violence, sexual content, and disturbing information. Viewers' discretion is advised. Today, I'm dressed up as Pennywise, but we are going to talk about another famous killer clown. But the thing is, he's the real deal. He existed and you might have heard of him before. Pennywise was even actually based on this real-life person, this real-life killer clown. And his name is John Waynce Gacy. Let's get started. So let's start with Gacy's early life. Gacy was born in Chicago and he was the second child of John Stanley Gacy and Marion Elaine Robinson. He was of Polish and Danish descent as his paternal grandparents were immigrants and his family was Catholic. Growing up, he was close with his mother and his two sisters, but was known to have suffered abuse from his father, who was an alcoholic. Ugh. Aside from physically abusive to his wife and children, Gacy's father was also verbally abusive to him. His father called him dumb and stupid, and Gacy's closeness with his mom was labeled by his dad as mama's boy or sissy, and made comments about him growing up to be queer. So it was pretty clear at an early age he suffered under an alcoholic, abusive, and homophobic father. So fast forward to 1949, Gacy along with another boy were caught sexually harassing a young girl. This made Gacy's father punish him by whipping him. And in the same year, Gacy was also sexually harassed by a family friend but didn't speak up about it. Gacy had a heart condition and was overweight as a child. This was the reason he was told to avoid sports at school, and he would experience blackouts and seizures. His father openly believed that he was just faking his medical condition to gain sympathy from others. Gacy's medical condition was never fully diagnosed. So in this scenario, I know that his father is really a jerk, but John Waynce Gacy is really a sketchy person. So his father might be right, or John wasn't lying about his medical condition, but again, he is really a sketchy person. You'll find out later. By high school, Gacy's friends testified that his father would physically and verbally abuse him without provocation, and during these instances, he wasn't known to fight back. He would only put up his hands to defend himself. Poor guy. Now, there's a lot to cover about this guy. You see, there's a lot to unpack here. So we'll just focus on his involvement with the JCs because this is where a lot of things happened. So the early days of his career, he started working with a political career as an assistant precinct captain in his neighborhood, but moved to Las Vegas to work as a mortuary attendant. And then he went back to Chicago and got us a job salesman for a shoe company. The company transferred him to Springfield, Illinois, where he eventually got engaged with a coworker, a female coworker. He joined the United States Junior Chamber, also known as the JCs. So the JCs is like it's a leadership training and a civic organization. So Gacy became very known for his position in the JCs, where he became vice president of the Springfield JCs. But it was also during this time where he also had homosexual experiences, as he was invited to spend the night by one of his colleagues who performed oral sex on him while he was drunk. So despite of those scenarios and circumstances, Gacy got married in 1964, and his wife's family bought 3 KFC restaurants in Waterloo, Iowa, where they both moved to help manage the franchise. So the married couple enjoyed huge profits from this business venture, and Gacy acknowledges this part of his life as perfect because he had finally earned his father's approval. But I doubt this is just a gold-digging tactic. He then joined the Waterloo chapter of the JCs alongside his work managing their family business. Members regard him with respect and eventually serve on the board of directors. Ooh, this guy must be really charming. Gacy and the Waterloo JCs were involved in wife swapping, prostitution, pornography, and drug use. Ooh. It was this position of power that gave him opportunities to indulge in heinous acts, one of which was when he sexually assaulted a 15-year-old named Donald Voorhees. Gacy also tricked several teenagers into conducting homosexual experiments with him and paid them up $50 each. In 1968, Voorhees reported about the assault done on him by Gacy and was then charged with another attempted assault on a 16-year-old named Edward Lynch. Despite his denial of these charges, he ended up being indicted on the sodomy charge and was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. Thank God! What happened? His wife filed a divorce and won sole custody of their children. Gacy never saw his family again. Good for him. He quickly earned a reputation inside the state penitentiary as a model prisoner and rose to position of head cook. Wow. Gacy joined the inmate JC chapter and was fairly successful in getting more people to join the organization. This guy is really using his charms to get away with whatever he's doing. By 1970, he was granted parole with 12 months probation and sent back to Chicago to live by his mother. What? But 1 year later, he was charged again with sexually assaulting another teenage boy, and by June 1971, he was arrested and charged, but it was soon dropped. What the hell? What on earth is he doing? Why is he getting away with all of this? Still, Gacy was able to purchase a ranch house and remarried in 1972. Wow, another woman trusted him. He ran a successful construction business and he became an active member of the community. Take note, he was active enough in politics to have had his picture taken with then First Lady Rosalynn Carter. And this is the era where he became a clown. In 1975, he joined the Jolly Joker Clown Club as his own original character named Pogo the Clown and Patches the Clown. Okay, now it's time to move forward to the murders of this notorious real-life killer clown. John Waynce Gacy killed at least 33 victims, 26 of which were found buried in the crawl space of his house. He usually lured his victims with the promise of a job or with an offer of drinks, drugs, or money for sex. There was actually an interview with one of the survivors of John Waynce Gacy, and according to him, he met Gacy in a club. he was drugged and he woke up on John Waynce Gacy's bed. He was being sexually abused, but he was so lucky that day Gacy is not in the mood to kill somebody, so he just dropped him off somewhere. And he told that guy that he was going to church. I attached that interview in the description. Go check it out. His first known murder happened in January 1972. Timothy McCoy was traveling from Michigan to Omaha and was lured by Gacy to a sightseeing tour of Chicago. My God, this guy has a lot of gig. Gacy claimed that McCoy had attacked him the following morning with a knife and had killed him in defense. In an interview years after his arrest, he noted this encounter as the point when he realized the thrill of killing. Gacy's second murder occurred in 1974 with an unidentified victim. This victim was found to be strangled and stuffed in the closet before burial. A year later, Gacy's third victim, John Waynce, went missing after confronting Gacy about his back pay. He later on confessed to inviting Waynce to his home to settle the overdue wages. Gacy confessed to sitting on the victim's chest before strangling him and buried his body under the concrete floor of the garage. What's more disturbing here is the second murder. Take note, the guy is unidentified up to this day. Gacy committed most of his murders between 1976 and 1978 after his divorce. He was like, I'm a free clown, I'm gonna kill everybody. Neighbors have started to complain about the changes in his behavior as he was often seen with the young men. His victims were often teenage boys, some of which he had abducted or had previously worked for him. So the last known killing of John Waynce Gacy happened in December 1978 when Gacy met Robert Peast, whom he invited to work under his firm. Peast was murdered later that night after Gacy had raped him. Gacy admitted he even received a business call as Peast was dying in his bedroom. Authorities who handled his case also said that Gacy loved to read Bible verses to his victims before they die, and he practiced necrophilia. The victim's family filed a missing person report, and this investigation eventually led to Gacy's arrest later that month. Gacy had a time to seek legal counsel and provided a formal statement confessing to his crimes. In his accounts, he claimed that his victims were all male runaways or prostitutes who had willingly entered his house. During the search for his victims, the police instructed him to mark where he buried the bodies within his property, and it took the police weeks to recover all the bodies he buried under his crawl space, and some of which he confessed that he had thrown into the Des Plaines River, including Peast. Gacy was charged with 33 murders and was brought to trial in February 1980. He tried to convince the doctors that he suffered from multiple personality disorders and had claimed to have 4 different personalities. His lawyers had him plead not guilty by reason of insanity, but the prosecutors presented the case that Gacy was full control of his actions. Thank God. They produced witnesses to testify against Gacy and had doctors refuted the claims of insanity. I told you, this guy is sketchy. His father might be right. He's not really... He doesn't really have a medical condition at all. Who knows? Previous victims such as Jeffrey Rignall and Donald Voorhees testified in the trial. Gacy was sentenced to death row and was executed in May 1994. Succeeding investigations claimed that the total victims of John Waynce Gacy could be as high as 45. You know, it was just sick that until his last day, the authorities claimed that he was really proud of what he had done. He was also able to sell paintings while he was serving in death row, and people flocked to see and purchase the art exhibits. What the hell? Even for free, I will never ever get that painting. It was just sad that he was romanticized, and that is the salt to the wound for the victim's family. Numerous other documentaries and articles offer more detail about his killings and the extensive retrieval operation for the bodies of his victims. Ooh, is that something that you are interested to watch? Let me know in the comment section. So I'll link the sources in the description so you can check them out if you want to. So what do you guys think of this case? I love to hear your thoughts. Go post them in the comment section and get a chance to be featured on my next video. Also, do you guys thought that John Waynce Gacy's father played a very big role? That's why he became a monster? Or is it just people are sometimes born evil? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you did enjoy this story, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you won't miss my next videos. Again, this is Prince De Guzman, and see you on the next episode of True Crime and Wine. I'm getting tipsy.